How's it going there, guys? James here from Butler Farms. Just out here at the shop. It's been a good day. It's been a long day. Gotten a lot done. More than I thought I'd get done today, actually. But the weather's been nice, and just heading into fall here. It's still hot here in Alabama, but you can tell that fall's coming slowly. I wish it would come on. That's kind of my favorite time of year. But I just wanted to come to you very quickly before I shut down, because I don't know if you know it or not, down here in the South on Saturdays in the fall, football is everywhere. And so you can probably imagine where we live. We're huge Alabama fans. Both my wife and I graduated from there, and so they play later on tonight, so we're getting ready for that. And so I've got to kind of start wrapping it up out here. Everybody's wanting some chicken on the grill, so that's what I'm getting ready to go do now. That's kind of my job late on Saturdays. But my other favorite team is playing right now, so I'm going to go give them a look. But I did want to come to you real quick and talk to you about something. Now, way back in the early spring, I did a couple of videos on something called Electroculture, okay? And what that amounts to, and without a long, detailed, drawn-out explanation, is pulling energy from the environment to help your plants grow. Now, if you want, if you go back and watch that video, I did a much more detailed explanation of it back there. And if you really want to know, I introduced you to a guy back then called Mr. Mickey. He's at a place called Hills Mill Homestead, Hills Mill Homestead. If you want to know electroculture, sorry, you need to go see him. You need to go take a look at his stuff. It's I've learned so much by watching him. Now, he has other things on his channel. It's not just 100% electroculture, but he believes in it. He uses it, and if you watch his videos, you can see that it actually works. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is I've been down in the garden trying to clean up and getting ready to mow it, getting ready to let it die down, turn it under, and put it to bed for the year. I don't know that I'm going to get greens in it this year because of my injury. I'm so far behind that I just don't know that I'm kind of running out of time on that. And it's not something I can go put into the garden right now in the condition it's in, because it's a mess down there. So one thing that I was down there doing is trying to pull my electroculture rods. And so, you can see this one is in a mess, but that's one of my winter projects. That's something I'll come up here and do in the winter when there's nothing else going on. It's kind of slow around here. This is when I make repairs. I simply made these out of some copper wiring that you can see right there, and just used a broom handle is all I did, is to make the coils. And you can see that, sorry about that, you can see that they've been stepped on. Some of them, when I tried to pull them out of the ground, the weeds and stuff down there grabbed them, and so it kind of pulled them out. Copper is so soft, it doesn't take much to do that. So, but I'm not worried about it, because I'm going to put that same broom handle back through it and going to rewrap it and straighten it out. Won't take long. Now, here are some of the questions I get about it. Did it work? It absolutely worked. Now, you can, part of me keeps saying, well, it's just your imagination. It's just, you just had a good year, this, that, and other. Guys, I have good years every year. And knock on wood, that's going to continue. I grow a lot of vegetables here, and I had these around my peppers and my tomatoes, and I know I didn't put them around my cucumbers, I didn't put them around my squash. It was just peppers and tomatoes, and I know about what I get out of that garden every year based on how many plants I plant. It's pretty even, pretty constant. When I added these this year, I can tell you now, I couldn't keep up. I could not keep up. The produce was heavier, it was bigger, same tomatoes I always grow, just the old standby tried and trues. Guys, the peppers down there, even though we had a summer like we had, those peppers just would not let up. I cannot tell you how many basketfuls of peppers I gave away after I put up all that I could possibly use. Same thing with tomatoes. I could not keep up with them. Cherry tomatoes, canning tomatoes, slicing tomatoes. So there are going to be people that no matter what, they're going to say that this is not real. That it had, it may not hurt anything, but it's absolutely not helping anything. I don't know. I'm telling you, it worked for me. There's something to it. I don't even pretend to understand it. I don't understand the science behind it. I understand the concept. I understand, the explanation of it, but the science and how it actually works, I don't know. And, at some point, if you find something that works, even if you don't know exactly how it works, it doesn't matter. It works. So that's where I am with this. So was it a win? It was absolutely a win. Will I put these back in my garden next year? 100% yes. There's no doubt about it. Even if it's all in my imagination, which I'm telling you it's not, because I kept records of how much produce came out of that garden. And the growing conditions this year were very similar to the growing conditions the last 2 years. Almost identical, to be honest with you, as far as heat and rain and stuff like that goes. It's the same exact tomatoes, the same exact peppers I grow every single year, and I'm telling you, the harvest was bigger. Now, another thing is, I made these myself. I don't sell them. I don't make any money for telling you that. I'm just telling you what worked for me, and these work. So, I am going to use them again next year. Now, what are some drawbacks? Well, they're soft, so they bend all the time. And with my big clumping feet going through the garden, I step on them all the time and bend them all up and make them a mess. So I end up having to rework them in the winter. And another thing that I'm noticing is I've got a bucket here with about 11 or 12 of them in it. And I know for a fact I've got more down in that garden, and I can't find them. And the problem with that is, before I run my mower through it and cut all the weeds down to let them start rotting, I've got to find every one of those, because the last thing I want to do is run one of those copper coils through my mower. So I guess when I rework them this year, I don't know, maybe paint the tips. I don't know. I probably won't do that, because I don't know if that would affect them in any way. I don't want to affect them in any way. I want them to do exactly what they've been doing, because like I said, they worked. So maybe next year when I put them out, I'll simply put some flagging on them, because the flagging, there's no way that's going to alter what it does. And even though flagging will eventually rot away, it'll last the season long enough for me to be able to get them out of the garden. And the reason that they're still in the garden is because of my injury. Those would have been out of the garden several weeks ago. I don't know that it'd been any easier to find them, but the color they are now that everything's dead in that garden, if I hadn't hurt myself and I could have gotten down there in the garden, would they have been easier to find? Probably, because stuff was still green down there. But it is what it is. So I'm just going to have to get the weed eater and use the weed eater around the tomatoes and where the tomatoes and the peppers were, until I try to find them. I don't have my stakes pulled out of the ground yet. I tried to pull some of those out. They are not coming out. So I'm going to have to try a different strategy to get those out of the ground. But anyway, I've got to find them before I can mow and put that garden to bed for the winter if I don't get any greens planted. So I'm going to have to do something better next year, flag them, do something so I can find them, so I can see them. But long story short, go see Hills Mill Homestead. It won't take you long just to flip over there on YouTube and check Mr. Mickey out. I think he actually does make them, and his are much higher quality than mine. His are professionally made. You can tell by looking at them. They're all equal. Mine are nowhere near that. But he may even sell them. I think he does. But I've learned so much from watching him, and so much from seeing his results. Danny down at Deep South Homestead at Pecan Grove, he believes in them, and he got the same idea from Mr. Mickey that I'm talking about. and they grow a lot of produce, way more than I do. And if those two gentlemen that grow the amount of produce they do believe in it, there's got to be something to it. So check both of them out. I know Mr. Danny's down at Deep South Homestead has some videos on it, but if you really want the guru of it, go see Mr. Mickey at Hills Mill Homestead. He'll explain it all to you. He explains how it works. He explains how they're made. If you want to make your own, or like I said, I think you can buy them from him. But regardless, it's worth a shot. Right now, as we're trying to grow all the food that we can for our families, you know, what does it hurt? If it doesn't produce one extra tomato or one extra pepper, it hasn't hurt anything. And again, this was something I didn't have to buy. I had the copper here. It was going to the scrap yard at some point anyway. It was leftover stuff. And so I put it to use, and I will be putting it to use again next year. All right, guys, this went a little bit longer than I thought it would, but just wanted to bring you an update on that. Got a lot of things going on, but I'm shutting it down for the day. Gonna go relax and watch some football and see if Alabama can pull it out tonight. We'll see. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that thumbs up button after you watch a video. It does help a lot. Tell a friend. Let's keep growing. And guys, don't forget that we love you. God bless you. This is James from Butler Farms, and we'll be seeing you.